Hi Scorpio, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. With that said, if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on the website just below. And before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So my little stingers, this week for your key to the week, you have the Lovers card. And I actually feel like this does relate to the relationships that you are choosing this week, right? And that's across the board. So this week, I feel like you're going to be paying a lot of attention to the relationships that you have chosen to give your time, effort, and energy to. So remember, the Lovers card represents those choices. It represents those loving connections that we have. And your loving connections don't always have to be between you and partners. They can be between you and parents, you and children, your own children. It could be between you and your friends, maybe your wider social circle. But this is always where you are choosing, right? It's where you're choosing something. And this week, I feel like what you're paying attention to is the relationships and connections that you have chosen to put your time, energy, and effort into. And it's interesting as well because Libra had a similar message, and I feel like this is what you're going to be paying attention to this week. Where am I getting exactly what it is that I give out? For your actions and options this week, you have the Emperor card, right? So very powerful card. And it's interesting because as an action card, this sees you really going into almost like going into authority mode, right? This is where you are owning your skills, owning your power. This is about you really deciding to commit to something for the long term or for the longer haul. It looks like as well, when it comes to your work, this could be about the connection that you have with your boss, with your superiors. If you work for yourself, this could be you really saying to yourself, you know what, I'm going to dedicate myself to my business. I'll give you an example about that. When I left my full-time job in 2018 now, gosh, feels like a lifetime ago. It was 2 years ago exactly next week. Wow. So and what I actually said to myself then was the hours that I put into my full-time job, I'm gonna put into my business. This could be a week where you are deciding, right, if you've got your own business, you could be saying, right, you know what, I'm going to make sure, I'm going to dedicate myself to working hard on this business to make it a success. If you work for somebody else and you're employed, this could be you saying, you know what, I'm going to work till I'm given my weight in gold, right? This is about you dedicating yourself to getting the most out of what you have, but you're doing this in a really proactive sort of fucking have it sort of way. All right, for your communications and conversations, you have the Hermit card. So not only are you working really hard to get what it is that you feel like you're worth or you're owed, when it comes to your communications and conversations, you're saying nothing. It's kind of like you're saying, you know what, that's cool. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to give any hints. I'm not going to sulk. I'm not going to, tracking all the cards over. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to sulk. I'm just going to retreat to my corner. I'm going to do what I'm asked, but I'm going to do it so well that there's no other option but to acknowledge how well I'm doing what I'm doing. When it comes to communications and conversations, this is going to be a very slow week for you, and I feel like this is going to be very deliberate. Right, it's going to be you choosing to deliberately not be so talkative so that you can focus on dedicating yourself to the task at hand. All right, it's going to be a really powerful week for you guys as well, and it does look like in some way, shape or form you are going to be called on in some sort of service. When that moment comes, make sure you absolutely shine. All right, for your money and materials, wow, so far we're 3 for 3 with the majors. You've got the High Priestess. So this is interesting because for me, the High Priestess is hidden things resolved, hidden things that come to light, and also your own intuition. Now, what do I always say to you? If you've been with me long enough, you will have heard me say these words. The Hermit is what you do when the High Priestess has a message for you, right? That if you want to hear the voice of the High Priestess, your intuition, your true psychic awareness, you have to do the Hermit, which is withdrawing from the hubba and the, you know, all the brouhaha. And this is about you making yourself quiet and still enough for your inner realm to truly come alive and speak. So your money, your finances, there could be an offer or an opportunity that comes up for you this week, one that you hadn't anticipated or even seen coming, which is fantastic. You could be, what's the word? You could be seeking other employment. You could be seeking, you know, maybe a job that pays you more. For you know, when it comes to your finances and your money as well, this is not a week for you to have conversations about money in the workplace or with people that are family members. Just keep the two as separate as you possibly can. Now, on a health level, I'm not seeing any issues here. In fact, with the High Priestess and the Hermit card, I actually feel like you could be finding a really good balance between your inner world and your outer world. This could be a really great week where you're finding the balance between those things. And then when it comes to your physical home, it looks like somebody is coming to visit this week. The interesting thing is, though, I'm not sure if it's a man or a woman. Even with these cards, it should be clearer than this, but it isn't. So there's definitely somebody coming to visit you at home this week. For your love and relations, you have the Three of Pentacles. So this card, for me, is always about learning what we need to learn, what we have learned, what we know, what we don't know. And when it comes to, so for those of you that are single, this is a week for you to learn how people see and view you by the actions that they do, right? So whatever people's actions are this week, let them, you know, it's a cliche for sure, right? But let people's actions speak for them this week, right? Let them speak so much louder than anything else. And this is not just about how they treat you, but also how they treat others. That's going to show you, right? And as an example, I remember seeing this meme that really hit me hard about, you know, about certain people. And it says, if someone's happy to stand in front of your face and slate somebody else off to you, don't think for a second that person's not okay with doing that to somebody else, doing that to you with somebody else. All right. So just this week, pay attention to how people really act. For those of you that are partnered, yeah, slightly different energy. It looks like you guys might be thinking about studying something together, maybe gaining some sort of insight. Maybe you're taking a tantra course, maybe you're taking a couples massage course, maybe you are, I don't know, deciding, actually, you know what, we both want to get financially savvy, so we're going to study something to do with the stock market, or, you know, whatever. It looks like this week you could be getting very savvy about something that you're doing, but you're doing it together, which is really exciting. You know, it's nice. It's a good energy. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.